Well, after a quick stay in Pittsburgh, the Steelers are once again the visiting team for the third time in 4 weeks. They're not alone, however, as all 5 undefeated teams in the NFL are on the road. So how can the Steelers keep adding to their win column? Let's send it over to Bob and Coach for the keys to the game presented by your neighborhood Ford store. Guys.
Hey, Missy, thank you very much. It's now the biggest key, I would imagine, is just trying to take that crowd out of it and get off to a fast start. Would that be number one on your list?
It is, not only for the venue purposes, but also just because of our recent history. When you think about it, we didn't have a fast start last week at home. But at home, there are not as many negative consequences of warming up to the action. You have the confines of your home venue. The opposing offense is not working against crowd noise and things of that nature when you're on the road. And so I think it's paramount that we start fast for a lot of reasons, but most importantly, we hadn't done it to the degree in which we like. And part of the journey, obviously, is winning games week in and week out. But if you want that to continue, you better cure your ills. And fluidity of starts has been an ill of ours that needs to be addressed sooner rather than later.
You've had a lot of success against young quarterbacks. We saw Bo Nix have some issues with your defense. This is a young quarterback. How do you approach him knowing that he can break, contain, and make some big plays, but he's also prone to some interceptions?
You know, that's probably not our issue. That's more their issue in terms of managing the youth component of him or the inexperienced component of him. I think it's prudent planning to look at what they're capable of, his skill set, his talents, and let that be our guide from a prep standpoint. This guy has great deep ball ability. It's been on display already this year. We better keep a lid on it and do things like that. I'm sure they'll do some things to minimize his exposure to us and manage that youth component, just like Denver did. But if we're stopping the run, that gets more difficult. And so our energies obviously are to deal with his talents and to deal with Jonathan Taylor, and that'll position some of those other things just to happen in a natural way.
One other thing about Cordero Patterson, you brought him in, a lot of people thought it was just for kick returns. He's been very effective wide receiver, run back. Knowing that there have been some banged up backs in your backfield, he's 33, but he still looks like he can play at a very high level at those positions.
As CP tells me just about every day, he's a thoroughbred. I can use him wherever I need him. He plays wide out, he plays running back, he returns kicks. He played gunner in Denver. He is a multi-talented guy, and probably equally as impressive as that, he is a big-time competitor. He loves it, and so we're glad to have him, certainly.